Talk, our President's Review, guys. Right to it. Action. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan680.
I'm Angela, back howdy, Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Thank you so much for making this a part of your day. You know what to do, guys. Like, share, and subscribe to us. And do not forget to hit that bell notification, get notified for our movie reviews like this one or trailer reactions. Let's get right to it, man. Angela, what are we talking about today? Because to start off our January, we're about the middle of January or so, and yeah, this month's flying by. I don't know if for you guys, it's for us. It's been definitely been a an impactful January month for us as far as like work and everything. Work's kind of slow a little bit, but it is impactful on us, anyways. But let's get right to it. That's why we have the world of movies. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. This month has been dragging.
It's dragging on us. It's impacting us.
But you know what? That has paved the way for us to unwind and relax and delve into movies, get right back into the swing for the new year.
Yeah.
So today we are reviewing, it's called Presents. It's a family becomes convinced they are not alone after moving into their new home in the suburbs. And I gotta say, I didn't know too much about this going in. I did see some of the cast. I mean, I love Lucy Liu.
Yeah.
She's great, but I will always love her in Charlie's Angels. I know she's done so many things where she's great. But I was really curious to see
love her in Charlie's Angels too.
This take on it. And, you know, for the first few minutes watching it, the camera angles, the point of view, it was very interesting. At first, I wasn't a big fan of it, but you know what? It did sell me on that, and that's the whole reason why. It's because you're from the point of view of the quote-unquote presence.
Yes,
in the house.
Exactly, yes.
And I will admit that was a pretty cool thing that I haven't seen in a while. And so I got to say, it grew on me. The camera angles and, you know, how it was shot and filmed, that was pretty cool. Yeah. And, you know, I will say it's not a quote-unquote normal scary movie, but it's definitely interesting and thought-provoking because you kind of wonder, like, what's happening, like what is this presence? And I really liked that you're kind of along for the ride and figuring out along with this family what exactly is in this house. You know,
there's a certain point of view, and it's funny because I mentioned this at work. I was at work and the guys were like, what movie did you see this week? And so I pretty much made a comedy out of it, and I'm gonna give it point blank and simple, guys. It's pretty much the view of Casper. If Casper was like in the in the corner of the presence of, like, you know, just this ghost or presence or spirit, whatever you want to call it. Let's call it spirit. Let's just, for sake of argument, let's just call it a spirit. Sure. So whenever the spirit comes alive or really just joins into our world, you're getting these figments of current event sequences that are happening. So you kind of have to put it all together. Again, it may not sit well with certain viewers. I could see why. This is from the trailer that we got out of this movie. I expected a little bit more horror elements in here, way more thrillers, maybe a person in the corner, maybe a black eyes or something like that. Coming from a studio like this that gave us Long Legs last year, right? Okay, but for sake of argument, this is very inventive. I enjoyed a lot of these moments in here. I enjoyed a lot of the moments where we got out of the camera work. The camera, oh my god, whoever the camera guy was. Or girl, I mean, come on, give them a raise. Damn it, give them a raise, because there's a lot of camera angles which I really did love. Second thing I loved about this movie was the lighting was so well controlled in certain environments, especially when the sun was hitting at certain angles. I appreciate the lighting in here. The technical team, the technical department of here, or the tech department, did a fabulous, marvelous job. So give them a raise. They deserve it. So given that, in that point of view. Now, when we talk about story and everything, because I do want to touch upon that, story is very blurry. And I'm going to explain why. Because, again, you're getting these current events that you have to put together. Some stuff makes sense. Some stuff doesn't. Some stuff kind of leaves it just like plots. They're plot holes. There's plenty. In my personal opinion, it's not even the ending. In my personal opinion,
open-ended.
Yeah,
like,
but there's a lot of plot holes in this movie.
Sure.
And I get it. You know, it's just because they're giving these fragments of current events because we're seeing it from the spirit or ghost point of view. And so I understand that why and everything. But I mean, besides that, if you're really going in for that, you know, that creepy kind of, I don't even know, there's small thriller moments. It's very minimum. I want to say it's like 10 minutes, maybe not even. So I don't know. It just, for me, it didn't. I appreciated more the technical stuff, and I loved that more than the horror stuff. I don't know if I would call this a horror movie though.
No, and also the presence, spirit, entity, if you will, wasn't exactly the traditional evil. No. You know, it kind of seemed benevolent and almost protective of one of the characters, Chloe, and I thought that was a really interesting take because you know, we haven't seen that. Usually when we have these ghostly movies, if you will,
they'll speak or something will happen.
There's something malevolent about it, like where it's their you know, they want to cause fear and hurt and pain, and this was definitely not it. So you kind of, again, it adds to the mysteriousness of like, where did this presence come from? Why is it there? What is its purpose? So I thought it was really cool. And like, it had all those. It was definitely a different take than what we've seen. Now, I will say, as much as
it doesn't explain it though.
It doesn't explain it, which I really liked. It's very open ended. But I think for me, as much as I liked that aspect of the story, I will say one of the downsides for me was the pace of it. I think it took a little long to get to the point, if there is a point.
Well, that's why I talk about like the story. There's not really a directed story, if you will, because again, you get these fragments of just like it wasn't even stuff.
The editing per se. It was like I felt like they were trying to tell a story of the family there.
Well, no, it wasn't. I'm not talking about the editing. I'm talking about the story. Like,
well, for me, it
just comes in and out. It's just like doesn't make any sense.
It's not even like the way it was pieced together. I think it was just they tried to tell too much of the family and not enough of the presence. Which maybe was the point. And I think it took a while to get there. I think that you know, I think it could have tied up nicely with the bow at the end, and I feel like I didn't get that. Although I will say the last like 30 minutes was pretty, it picked up pace and it was pretty interesting. And I didn't expect that ending at all, which I thought was pretty cool. But
that was surprising.
It was very surprising.
I enjoyed the ending way more than I thought it would because I didn't see it go that way. It's very unpredictable unless you Google the ending. I
wouldn't have seen that coming.
We pretty much see a lot of these movies and everything, so we're very kind of predict where it's gonna go, but then it doesn't. So I'm all like, I was shocked at that, and I appreciate that because it's a slow burner of a movie, and the very ending is, for me, I enjoyed that a lot. I enjoyed the way the climax of this movie was, and it was very quick, it's very fast paced. And so this movie's about an hour and 25 minutes. Again, we go back to where, like, yes, was it had pacing issues? Yes. Was the story kind of issues here? I would say yes, in a way. Yes, it was. For me, it was. I feel like that the story could have gone a little bit better, at least give us an insight where is it going to go. But again, I understand though, because maybe the director and everything was just like, hey, we're doing it from the spirit point of view, and I could see that I could see that more so with the camera work, with the camera angles.
I mean, because again, you could also argue, like you say, because it's from the spirit's point of view. There's no way for the family to know or find out or really deep delve into how it got there and why it's there and its purpose, because you know, that's not information that's readily available. So I get that why they didn't touch on it, but still I would have liked to have seen this presence or learn more about it and why it was there. But again, that wasn't the point of the story. I agree with you. I liked the ending. It did take a little bit to get there, be forewarned, but you know what, if you stick around to it, we promise you probably will be surprised. We didn't see that coming. I really hope you guys don't see it coming. If you do, let us know if you are able to predict the twist before the climax. But again, we didn't see that coming. I really liked that. I appreciated that. So,
and Steven Soderbergh, he's a director in this movie. He made that film Traffic, was of course a part of Contagion as well. So like you get to see where the camera work, where all this stuff kind of lingers over and everything. So I appreciate that a lot from the director and everything. And I want to see more projects. 'Cause again, we go back to where like I enjoyed those moments, those technical moments and everything. I enjoyed seeing that, even the certain sound moments too as well, and certain cinematography. I really enjoyed this movie. Well, we're gonna go to the ratings now, Angela. Ratings. What are you gonna give this rating of this horror movie? Supernatural. It is under IMDb. Under IMDb currently, it's unlisted under. Let me read it here. So it's listed under supernatural, horror, drama, horror, thriller. I would say
supernatural and thriller.
Supernatural thriller. I wouldn't even say horror, but I mean, I wouldn't say horror.
I wouldn't say horror. Again, it doesn't really fit to traditional horror.
Because a personal opinion to us, horror is more like the Conjuring movies. It doesn't really have that demonic presence, if you will. But again, it does portray that in the trailers, if you will. But again, I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt, guys. I don't know. Give us your opinion, comments down below. Do you think this is a horror movie or is this a supernatural movie? I don't know. For us, it's supernatural. I don't consider this horror.
That's the debate. You guys think it's horror?
Yeah.
I agree with you. I don't think this fits quite into the horror genre, but I will say it's supernatural, thriller for sure. Even though it had a little bit, it needed to pick up a little bit at times, but overall, it was not a bad film. It's pretty solid. I would give it a 6.5 because again, I think the camera angle, the point of view was really cool to see. I agree with you. The camera shots, the lighting everything was really cool to see, and to have it contained in such like you're really literally contained in a house, two-story house
that has a lot of windows.
And it has a lot of like you go up and down the stairs, different rooms. You have all these different characters kind of in the house at the same time doing their own thing.
The family.
The family. So, but again, I thought it was really cool the way it was shot. So I really appreciate the thought that went into that. I just wish it had picked up a little bit faster, quicker. But you know what? I think the ending was really cool to see. If you guys stick around for that, you will be surprised.
Okay.
And I would really like to hear what you give it a rating.
So I'm gonna give this because of the technical aspect, because I appreciate those moments. I don't know if it's because I've been falling in love with more with cinematography and everything, the way The Brutalist was filmed, the way Wes Anderson movies are filmed. Granted, the movies are not. Yeah, like he does these quirky films that are just so colors are just so vibrant of coloring everywhere in his filmmaking. And so going back to this movie, I appreciate a lot of the technical aspects here. I'm going to give this a solid 7 out of 10. I appreciate this movie a lot, and because I didn't predict the ending and it surprised me, that's why I'm giving it a 7. Otherwise it probably would have been a 5, maybe a 6. But because of the ending, because I was like shocked at the ending, and I was mainly just surprised at the outcome. I appreciate that. I really did. And I appreciate where the director really was showing us the realm of, or the point of view, if you will, of Casper. I'm just kidding. Of the point of view, if you will, of a spirit or presence. And I kind of agree with you. I kind of like that they didn't really explain what it is. We just know it's an entity or spirit or if you will, that is in the house, but we don't know what to make of it. So yeah, we'll take it with a grain of salt, guys. But yeah,
they do try and kind of explain it a little bit by bringing in a character, but I feel like maybe the explanation kind of went over my head. But again, maybe you guys will maybe appreciate that a little bit more than I did.
I mean, yeah, they just and then they kind of like they do explain certain things without spoiling. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. They do explain certain things here where like something occurs or something bad's about to happen. So like they give us those little hints, but still I would not expected it. But anyways, question is for you guys. What do you guys think? Let us know in comments down below. Are you excited for this movie? Are you okay? Because the runtime for me, I think, is good. I think it ran a little bit longer, but I think goes back to what we said already, the pacing issues, so
I wouldn't have wanted it to be longer, honestly. I agree that I like the runtime. Maybe it could have been a little bit shorter, but I think it's good for what it is. And again, I really like the cast. Again, big shout out to not just Lucy, but all the rest of the cast too.
Yep.
I think they did such a really good job in here for such like a small contained film set. I think they did a really, really exceptional job.
Yeah, I agree. They did a good job. So I'm very excited for Neon. They've been killing it this year, and so this movie wasn't bad. I'll say it's not bad, but I know some people say, "Oh man, this is not even a horror movie. Why is it even portraying this?" I'm not. I could see that too, but coming from a filmmaker like Neon is really coming up there with movies that came out this last year and everything. So I still enjoyed this movie. This movie is still creative, and it still has that creativeness that other studios have done, independent movies have done like this one. So yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for making this a part of your day. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
I'm Angela. This
is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. See you at the movies. Latest.